I'm here with the phenomenal lead singer of Spanish Fly, Mr. Aki Starr, radio personality, producer, songwriter, actor, humanitarian, and freestyle giant, all who we love so much. We talked about the music scene, including his latest single featuring Force MD's Tender Love.
Here I lay all alone, longing for some of your tender love. I've waited for the right moment to come, so I can thank you for
So Woodstock was the start of an era. Woodstock was revolutionary for music because it was the first time that the American public had heard of a lot of these groups like Sly and the Family Stone, Carlos Santana, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix. The list went on and on. So Carlos became famous way before I was even born. you know, um, and so fast forward to the more recent years. I started singing with a band called Malo, which is famous for a song called Suavecito. The word malo means bad in Spanish, and the band had a song Suavecito, which a top 10 hit in 1972. Before our time. But Jorge Santana, which is Carlos's brother, was one of the founding members. And fast forward to more recent years, I became one of the lead singers of Malo, and through that, Jorge Santana also had his own band. So I became the lead singer of Carlos Santana's brother's band, Jorge Santana Band. And that's how I met Carlos, because Carlos used to come to our rehearsals, and he's a weird fella. So Jorge instructed the whole band and told us, hey, when my brother comes into the door and jams with us, you are not to say hello. You are not to acknowledge even the fact that he's there, because he's very weird about that. So that's what Jorge told us. So we would be rehearsing, and then all of a sudden Carlos Santana walks in. Nobody says anything. He grabs, he's with his guitar, so he grabs a chord, plugs his guitar in the middle of our rehearsal, and starts jamming with us. He plays along with us. He does solos, probably for about an hour, hour and a half. Then after a while, he unplugs his guitar and walks out.
What?
And that's the way it was supposed to be. And we were not allowed to even acknowledge him, because it was just the way he wanted it. He gave love to his brother, so he would come in and jam with the band. At one point, at one of the rehearsals, I was singing. He was right next to me. I was like, "Oh my God, this is Carlos Santana right next to me."
That's phenomenal that you have that recollection, like without missing a beat. So I have no. If I had questions about your freestyling before, I don't have those questions now.
Well, if I can clarify, the genre known as freestyle is a type of music that had artists such as Stevie B, Lisa, the Cover Girls, Sweet Sensation, Expose. Those are the pioneers of the genre called freestyle. And the genre called freestyle is not necessarily you getting on the mic and freestyling. It's actually a genre of music that's still being played on radio today. And it's a genre of music that is considered dance, but the beats are more like, are you familiar with the song Planet Rock by Africa Bambaataa? So that beat is the most sampled beat of all time for freestyle music. So just imagine that Planet Rock beat and people just singing over it with different melodies and different chords. That was freestyle music.
Now, you've mentioned in many interviews that you love Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack. What's your
Yes.
what's your favorite songs to perform by them?
The closer I get to you, oh, the more you make me see. The closer I get to you, of course. I mean, how could you go wrong with the closer I get to you, which is, in my opinion, one of the most romantic songs of all time. Danny Hathaway's voice and Roberta Flack's voice, their harmony on that song was just incredible. It sounds like amazing. And yeah, so that is my go-to song when you talk about Danny Hathaway and Roberta Flack. That song is just so romantic. I mean, Roberta Flack had so many other hits. You know, the first time ever I saw your face. I mean, that song is just super iconic also. You know, that song still gives me chills to this day. You know, the first time ever I saw your face. Wow. You know. And I know Luther Vandross did a version of Closer I Get to You, and I'm sure you know that version too.
Yes, both romantic in its own rights.
I mean, come on, Luther. You can't go wrong with Luther. Come on.
No, you can't. Luther getting you ready, okay? Those are two.
Luther, man, with Luther, you got to light the candles. You got to dim the lights. You know what I'm saying?
It's go time with Luther, okay?
Okay.
It is go time. It's totally two different.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
So, and speaking of go time, speaking of that, you finished up a track with Force MD's Tender Lover, okay, bomb. And then you you added some flavor to it, so tell me about that.
Tender Love, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis's first hit ever, and I'm sure you guys know who Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis is.
Yes.
Tender Love was a song produced by them, which they produced it for the movie Crush Groove.
Mm-hmm.
Crush Groove came out in 1985. Sheila E. was the love interest. She was the main girl. You guys know who Sheila E. is. And the song became just an iconic ballad. So romantic. There's not even a drum beat on that song. It was just piano, some strings, and the beautiful background, the beautiful vocals by the Force MDs. And that song put Force MDs on the map. Mm-hmm. And just, and just me as a growing up, as a young kid, all the older nephews, all the older aunts and uncles, not nephews, aunts and uncles used to always play that song. And so, I learned about that song later in life and just really appreciated it and became a fan of the vocals of the Force MDs. Besides Tender Love, they had, Tears, Here I Go Again, Love Is the House. I mean, these brothers had hits.
Thanks.
And so a couple years ago, I just decided to do a dance rendition of Tender Love. I put a Planet Rock beat, and I did all the piano chords, and I sang the song. Just to do it. Didn't have any plans or anything. I just did it. And then I posted a clip of it on Facebook. And Rob Schwartz heard it. He saw the clip. Not sure if you know who Rob Schwartz is.
Yes. The man.
The myth, the legend. Humag in the house. So anyways, Rob Schwartz heard and saw my post on Facebook and immediately sent me a message. And his first words were, "Yo!" He goes, "That was dope. And as a matter of fact, I work with the Force MDs." So he was the mastermind that made it possible for me to meet the Force MDs, collaborate with the Force MDs, have him even sing on a new version that I did, because once I talked to him, we decided, you know what, let's go the distance and let's re-record it the right way. So we did different versions, and I came up with the idea of doing a Latin bachata version, which was sung in Spanglish. So I did some of the verses in Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
and the Foursome D's did all their beautiful harmonies, and the rest is history. We decided to release it. We shot a music video in Miami, Florida. The Foursome D's came down from the New York area, so they are actually in the music video to this song. And once the music video is finished in a couple of weeks, I will definitely make sure to send you a copy of it, so you'll be one of the first to have the music. I promise.
Please, because that thing is fire. I was like, okay, I'm sensing cruise ship, serenading, like the works with that song. So you like really mixed it up to perfection where it fits this jump, like this era of music. So was that important for you, or you was just in love with just the whole aspect of it?
Well, in a business sense, if you're going to release something, it has to be current. It has to be what the kids are liking. It has to be very contemporary. So I decided to do a bachata version because the genre of bachata is huge in all of Latin America,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, even Europe, even Italy. Matter of fact, I just got a message today from a radio station in Italy that wants to start playing it. So bachata is global, and this is the golden age of Latin music. And I'm sure you agree. You know, I mean, Latin music, the Latin rhythms are hot right now. Even Bruno Mars, Katy Perry, a lot of the major artists are incorporating that little reggaeton beat on their singles. So it's a perfect time, and the fact that I got the stamp by the Foursome D's because they sang on it makes it even more special. So people are extremely excited for this single. There's rumblings in South America about this single, so we're about to do a huge campaign in South America, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Columbia. So it's about to go down. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, you should be, because this is fire. Because I just didn't know what to expect, because your genre is different. So what do you, but the thing is, you have such a, I won't say bluesy, it's a whimsical, like airy vocals, very light, but you can do R&B. So with this, was it something that was, did you prepare for it per se?
No, I went in this project blindfolded.
Oh, Lord, how that happen?
Because I just went by the faith of God. I said, you know what? Let me just do this project. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't have any plans. Let's just do it. So things just worked out. You know, I got a remix by King Tech, who's the world famous King Tech, which is the partner of Sway. And Sway, I'm not sure if you know who Sway is. I think everybody knows who Sway is. Sway in the Mornings, Sirius XM, you know, the Wake Up Show, MTV, TRL, Sway, interviews Obama, interviews all the major celebrities. So anyways, so King Tech did a remix, and Sway has always been a fan of the Foursome D's. As a matter of fact, Foursome D's were on Sway's show a couple years ago. So Sway is very excited about this project, and he is hopefully going to have us come out to New York to do an interview on his show on Sirius XM once the song really takes off and tractions and impacts radio globally.
So what do you consider your genre of music? Are you in a specific genre?
Well, Tender Love, the bachata version, is the one that we're promoting. So because I did a bachata, my genre of music now is pretty much Latin, which is bachata, reggaeton.
Mm-hmm.
Those two genres are huge worldwide. So the follow-up single is going to be, I'm going to do a bachata reggaeton version. And because I'm Latino, I'm going to embrace my Latin roots and really stick with this genre moving forward, you know, doing the bachata, doing the reggaeton. But I will always do dance remixes of everything that I do. It's a smart thing to do. When artists release a song, um, you know, it's very smart to do remixes of different genres, for example, like dance, EDM version. So there are dance remixes coming out soon for Tender Love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, and I don't know if you want to answer it or not, because you may very well win that award for this song. But as far as Latin music at the Grammys and the, just the overall genre, do you feel like, or do you wish that there were or is more acknowledgement there?
Acknowledgement as far as in terms of what?
Winning the awards.
Oh, okay. So the Grammys um, is definitely the ultimate destination,
Mm-hmm.
and the Grammys. There's the Latin Grammys. So the Grammys it includes the Latin Grammys. So obviously that is the ultimate goal for any artist, is to be even nominated. Even if you're nominated for the Grammys, is an achievement in itself.
Right.
And we will definitely give it our best shot to be included in that conversation. The team, yeah, we're going to give it our best shot. Promotions, radio play, the video, we're gonna go the distance, and we'll see what God's plan is,
Okay.
because you know we leave it up to God, you know.
Amen.
And just like Drake always says, you know, God's plan, you know, and it's true.
That's right. So who would you like to share the stage with?
Everybody. anyone who's in the Grammys.
Okay.
I mean, you know, in Latin music, of course, you know, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, Ozuna, Prince Royce, Aventura. Those are the number one artists in Latin music today. As far as the United States market, obviously Bruno Mars, Dua Lipa, you know, um, the usual. I mean, the obvious, the leaders of the pack.
Right.
Yes.
What do you miss most about the 80s and 90s music scene?
Well, the 80s and 90s music scene, I mean, that was the 80s scene was a little before my time,
Mm-hmm.
but even though you know, I'm younger than that, as a musician and as a music lover, I learned to appreciate every decade of music, because you know, if you 80s and 90s, but you know, if you go back to the 70s and to the 70s, you know, you got, you know, the Ohio Players, you got Stevie Wonder, you got Earth, Wind and Fire, and you go back to the 60s, you know, you got even, you know, you got the Beatles, you got you know, you got I mean, so many people, you know, in 50s, you know, you got Chubby Checker, you know, you got so many people, Nat King Cole. I mean, every decade of music has contributed to how music sounds today and how singers sing today, because singers have been inspired. Singers today have been inspired by singers of every generation. You know, whether it's Michael Jackson, whether it's Stevie Wonder, whether it's Nat King Cole, whether it's Frank Sinatra.
Right.
There has been good music in every decade since music was done. You know,
Right. You're right. Every decade.
every decade. We're not talking about 80s and 90s. We're talking about every decade. I mean, Ella Fitzgerald. Who doesn't love Ella Fitzgerald?
Right. You are right. And I never thought of it the way that you presented it. It's been great music in every decade. I can't think of one single decade where we were lapsed in music. So
Nope.
with music, as far as you're concerned, what is your favorite aspect of creating it?
it's a feeling of the heart, you know, when you my favorite aspect of creating it is hearing the end result, you know, because you're in there doing harmonies, and when you're doing harmonies, you think of Boys to Men, you think of Take Six. I'm not sure if you know who Take Six is.
It's familiar. I can't remember though. It's the name is familiar, but I can't remember them.
Take Six is considered one of the greatest a cappella groups of all time. They were a Christian gospel a cappella group, and they were so good that, you know, Boys to Men, Jodeci, um, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I mean, every boy band always wants to sound like Take Six when it comes to harmonies and um, and sweet vocals. Take Six really started the trend of that, you know. And you're familiar with Jodeci and Boyz II Men and Mint Condition and all those groups. They all wanted to sound like Take Six.
Wow.
And Take Six is. I'm sure you're going to Google Take Six when we get off the line. But Brian McKnight's brother is a member of Take Six.
You know, I'm definitely gonna Google it.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Brian McKnight, you already know if his brother's a member of Take Six, then they sound butter.
Right.
And absolutely, because Brian McKnight's another one. You know, you dim the lights. You know.
Right. Oh God, Brian McKnight definitely, and his son, his kids are pretty dope too.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a fan. You know, I discovered that, and I'm a fan. I love his kids. You know, they're doing some great music. You know, and so you're right. You're totally right.
And
you know,
I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, aside from the music, are you still an activist?
You mean an actor or an activist?
An activist. Stop the violence. Campaigns.
Yes, because growing up in the Bay Area, just like every major city in the world, there's violence everywhere. So one thing about dancing and breakdancing, it really gave the opportunity for kids to have something to do instead of gangs and drug dealings. You know, you had dance competitions, you had dance performances. So now these kids had another outlet to make an impact on who they were as performers.
Right.
And I've been fortunate to be involved in the dance community for years, through b-boying. So I feel that our efforts in our group has helped a lot of kids, to give them a positive avenue of competitiveness, not just gangs and dealing drugs, but actually dancing, and then after dancing, even acting and doing music, because the entire arts is an opportunity for the kids to do something positive in their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yes, and this could be anywhere in the world, because the great thing about our planet Earth is that music is everywhere. Dance is everywhere. So there's always an opportunity, no matter what. If you're in Cuba right now with the whole Cuban crisis,
mm-hmm.
you know, which is horrible, but you know, I'm sure there, you know, once that fizzles out and things become good again, you know, the Cuban roots of music go way back with Latin music. I mean, Cuba is the originator of the Latin beats, you know, with Celia Cruz and Tito Puente. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just a shame what's going on right now, but you know, things can only get better.
Right. Yes. Especially over there in Haiti. That's just nuts.
You have Haiti too, which is a boat ride away from Cuba. I mean, they're all in the same area. Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico, they're all right there in the Caribbean. So you know, my prayers go out to everyone in that area. You know, it could only get better, because it was horrible what happened in Haiti also, you know, with the president getting shot. So So yeah, it can only get better.
I have two more questions.
Yes,
Do you believe that music and dance has a healing mechanism to it?
absolutely, absolutely. If I mean, music and dance and singing is it's all God. Praise and worship.
Yes.
Praise and worship in church. It's all God. It's part of even the Bible. You know, I don't want to make this a religious conversation, but I'm just saying, even in the Bible, dance, sing, celebrate. That's all godly, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. And we're going to make it a godly conversation, okay? So,
Oh, yeah, the book of Psalms. I mean, you already know, like, it's praise and worship. You sing. It's a it's a godly thing. It's a celebration of life, because when you sing, when you do music, you're expressing love. And if you know anything about love, love is the greatest gift. Book of Corinthians. And even Nat King Cole, the greatest gift you'll ever know is to love and be loved in return.
that's right.
Nat King Cole.
I love it. You're so knowledgeable. Just very, very, like, you are a great interview. Like, I have very good interviews, but you are a great interview.
Oh, thank you so much, love. I mean, you're sweet. You're amazing. I wish, I could see you on the Zoom, but hey, it's just a voice, but we already know, like, we see eye to eye. We're connected spiritually.
That's right. And it's crazy because one of my questions was, do you think this is a spiritual journey?
This is a spiritual connection, and this is a spiritual journey, and this is a spiritual life. So yes, yes, yes.
Yay, love it. And
Yeah.
then my final question. Woo woo.
Woo woo.
Where can our viewers and listeners follow you and get that music?
My name, which is Aki Starr, Akistarr, Aki Starr. You can find me on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I mean, everything under Aki Starr. I got videos, I got music there. So yeah, Aki Starr. I'm mainly on Instagram. That's my go-to now, the IG, because as you know, IG has become like the #1 source of promoting music. So,
Right.
and if you can add me on IG and send me a message so I can have your IG, I'd be honored.
I'm following you right now.
Aki Starr, Akistarr.
Peace Star. That way you can put a face to the boys. Woo woo.
Yeah. That way I'll add you, and we're buddies now.
Yes, we're besties. Like, even though we're like miles apart, we're besties. Cyber hugs, okay?
We're besties. Come on, much love and respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of hugs your way. It's all about love. Spread love, and if you listen to Take Six, their song "Spread Love," it'll touch your heart.
I'm gonna listen to Take Six just because you told me to, and then I'm gonna message you and say, "Hey, I listened to it. I love it."
Yes, and you give me your critique too.
Yes, you already know. So thank you so much. You were a joy, like I said, just a dope conversation, and I really appreciate you for coming on my show.
I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I'm honored to be on your show anytime. You just let me know, and I'd be glad to talk to you again. And hopefully the Zoom will work this time so we can connect the face.
Dude, definitely, because I wanted to split this laptop in half, but I said, nope, let's just go on with another means. We're good.
God's plan.
God's plan. So thank you.
You're welcome. Much love, and you guys have a blessed evening.
You as well. Thank you. Bye.